And our next set of questions involves movies on discs. Yes, there are still people, Mr. Black, that buy their movies in physical form, and there's a lot of reasons for that. So let's explore why you might want to go with a disc versus a digital service provider. And there was a great discussion here that erupted on the channel about this. You're welcome to join in on that or take it to the Facebook group as well. Now, there's a great comparison on the HD.TV Test YouTube channel where they look at the output of a 4K Blu-ray and compare it to what you might get out of an Apple TV at 4K. Both of these sources were Dolby Vision sources in his video, and he does a very nice job giving a good comparison. The reality for most consumers is that there isn't going to be a huge difference that they're going to notice. If you just got a 4K TV and connect up this Apple TV and get the Dolby Vision going, it's going to look spectacular, better than what you had with your 1080p movies running on your old LED set. But if you really start looking in at the details, things do look better on disc, and here is why. iTunes will only stream a max of 25 megabits per second to your home, provided your internet connection can sustain that. The movie is likely going to be encoded at a bit rate lower than 25, but that's what Apple recommends you have, and it will adjust the quality depending on conditions. So if your kid in the other room is downloading some game and it's really saturating the connection and you don't have enough bandwidth, iTunes will basically reduce the quality of the movie, and you may not be watching at 4K all the time. 4K Blu-ray, by comparison, is a local file being played back, runs at anywhere from 82 to 128 megabits per second, depending on how the disc is configured. Now, in both cases, this is a variable bit rate. So in other words, you don't get 128 megabits per second all the time, but you get it when you need it, especially in fast motion scenes where a lot of visual information needs to be updated quickly. Both of these devices use the newer H.265 HEVC codec. So this is a good apples to apples comparison, pardon the pun, in that HD TV test video. And the result is that you're going to get sharper images off the 4K Blu-ray. And if you want the best possible quality, you're not going to get better than that at the moment. And of course, if you can't sustain that 25 megabits per second, you will not be able to get the movie in the quality that you paid for. And I think that's something where Blu-ray has a significant advantage in that you don't have to send the data anywhere. It's all taking place inside your player and outputting through that HDMI cable. So for people who are bandwidth impaired, this is certainly a way to enjoy your films in the best possible image quality. Now, this is nothing new, by the way, having the best possible image quality. Back in my day, I used to watch laser discs on my home theater system in the 90s, and this was a very expensive format. The players, the receivers that played back the Dolby Digital audio were not cheap back then, and the movies were pretty expensive too. I think they were running about $50 a piece depending on the film, but the quality was significantly greater than what you would have on a VHS tape. And back then, most of the market was on VHS. It was good enough for them, like streaming is, I think, for most consumers, but there was a subset of the market, a large enough subset to sustain making these discs at quantity that was willing to pay more for the best possible quality. And I do think as our TVs get better and better and cheaper, the differences in quality are going to become more and more noticeable to consumers. And once you pop one of those discs in, it's a whole new world. Now, one other thing about discs that I really like right now is that many studios are supporting the Movies Anywhere service, and this is a great deal. So you buy your 4K Blu-ray. Most of them are also coming with the 1080p Blu-ray in the box, so you immediately have two really high quality formats depending on what player you're going to put them in. But then with the Movies Anywhere thing, you type in a code and it puts your movie onto most of the major services. So Apple, Amazon, Google, Vudu, I think a couple of others now are included in the mix too. So you get that movie everywhere, which is why they call it Movies Anywhere, and you can watch it on any device that you want for that single purchase. So you pay a little bit more for the physical copy, but you do get a lot more as a result of that, and I think it's a tremendous value for movie lovers out there.
This channel is brought to you by the Lon.TV supporters, including gold-level supporters of the Black Eyed and Blues Music Hour podcast: Chris Allegretta, Tom Albrecht, and Kalyan Kumar. If you want to help the channel, you can by contributing as little as $1 a month. Head over to Lon.TV/support to learn more. And don't forget to subscribe. Visit Lon.TV/s.